Welcome back. Let's be honest, 2022 probably hasn't had one of the best starts to the year. One of the more worrying things happening at the moment is the cost of living skyrocketing due to inflation. Gas prices are out of control, big brands are using shrinkflation to maintain margin, and let's not even get started on our household bills. So yes, inflation's here, it could get worse, so let's combat it. In this video, we're going to go through 5 combined methods that will help you beat the rising inflation costs. Let's get into it. So before we start, the important stuff. Making more money is one thing, but keeping more of that money is behavioural. If you made an extra £100,000 a year, for example, but let yourself be affected by lifestyle inflation, you'd blow through that money with nothing really more to show for it. So, touching on that, remember these words, I always say it. It's not how much money you make, it's how much of that money you keep. Implementing changes and building habits takes between 18 to 254 days. On average, it will take about 66 days. The reason I'm telling you this is if you want to see the change, you have to stay on track and stick with the plan. So, number 1, have a plan and know the numbers. As of the 23rd of March 2022, UK inflation is sitting at 6.2%. So let's use this as a benchmark. Next, we need a budget. If you've seen my other video, you'll know that the 3 main components of a budget are your needs, wants, and your savings. Your monthly income after tax times the inflation rate will give you a subtotal. What you need to do then is minus your monthly income after tax from that subtotal. That number will be how much more you need to make a month to stay in front of inflation. So let's use an example, shall we? The average UK salary is about £25,971 a year. This would mean that your monthly income after tax is £1,731. Times that by inflation at 6.2% and you'll have £1,838.32, minus the 1,731 and you'll be left with £107.74. That is the amount more you need to make every month. However, if you're living outside of this and your monthly income is not covering your bills, these next few points are more important for you. So, point number 2 is trim your needs. Yes, although a lot of our bills are going up, chances are there's a couple that you're paying too much for. Your needs are the bills that you must pay every month, such as your mortgage or your rent. This is one of the first places you can look at to find where you can save more money to beat inflation. So, here's 2 ideas for you. Renegotiate with your providers. Be it your broadband, your mobile phone, any insurance you pay, get them on the phone and negotiate a better price. So, here's something that big businesses don't want you to know. It can cost 5 times more a big business to attract a new customer than retain a current customer. So, based on that, get these businesses to work hard for your money. Remember, there's always another company, large or small, that will do it cheaper. Another thing you could do is change where you shop and buy store brands, not big brands. We all need to eat and we all need to do a food shop. However, where you do that food shop will greatly affect how much you can get for your money. Now more than ever, with everything going up and prices skyrocketing, this is really important. Let me just stress this so you can understand. Nobody cares where you do your food shop. The only person who cares is you. Since changing where I do my weekly food shop, I find that my bills have dropped by 35%. I find I'm getting good quality food and I'm getting more food for my money. Plus, the money saved is money in my pocket to go towards other stuff. So really, that's a win-win, right? So next we have scale back on your wants. Wants are some of the easy expenses you have to scale back on because they're not needs and they're not necessities. They are basically treats. As mentioned at the start of this video, without a budget, planner or tracker, you'd be surprised how much money you're spending on these wants and liabilities every month, which is money that you could be using elsewhere. And again, I firmly believe that spending on your wants is behavioural and we can change behaviours and habits, right? Many small spends can result in big bills every month, so let's start changing these. Can I take lunch to work with me every day and save £5? Over 5 days, that's £25 saved. Can I stop buying those morning takeaway coffees at about £3 a day? Over 5 days, that's £15 saved. Can I reduce how many nights out I have per week by 1? By reducing it by 1, you save about £30 a night. In total, by those 3 adjustments, that's an extra £70 a week you've saved, which is £280 per month in your pocket. I want you to really think about that and think about what you could do with that extra money every single month, and also think what other wants could you scale back on every month. So next we have ask for a pay rise. So be honest, when was the last time you had a pay rise that was in line with inflation? Chances are it's probably a while ago, right? According to research published last year in 2021, most employers are looking to give workers a pay increase of 2.9% on average. So firstly, that's lower than the current inflation rate. That won't cut it. If your workplace has a union, you're in luck. They are more likely to use the inflation argument to secure you a higher pay rise. However, if you work for a smaller organisation, chances are you're going to have to ask for it. So one tip for securing a pay rise is, if your current employer is advertising for a role, look at the salary they're offering. I mean, this is a great way to start a conversation with your employer to get a pay rise. I'm sure if they are, they've advertised it on LinkedIn. Also look at comparable jobs within your industry. If they're offering a higher salary, you can use this as evidence to your current employer to ask for more money. I've left a link below to the Office of National Statistics to show you how much more money you would need to make from your salary to stay in front of inflation. Remember, don't ask, don't get. Lastly, we have maximize your tax efficiency with ISAs. If you've implemented the previous steps, you should see more money in your pocket now. Yay for progress! Now we need to make sure we can keep as much of that money as possible. Robert Kiyosaki, the author of the great book Rich Dad Poor Dad, once said, "It's not about how much money you make, it's about how much of that money you keep, how hard it works for you, and how many generations you keep it for." An ISA, or an individual savings account, is either a savings account or investment account that allows you to maximize the earnings from your money. It does this by shielding it from income tax or capital gains tax. There are 4 types of ISAs: cash ISA, stocks and shares ISA, innovative finance ISA, and a lifetime ISA. Depending on your situation, you'll need a different ISA for that situation. If you're putting money aside for savings, you'll need a cash ISA, whereas if you're investing into stocks and shares, you'll need a stocks and shares ISA. You can open and pay into one of each type of ISA every financial year, but only one. So for example, you can't open and pay into 2 different cash ISAs in the same financial year. Your ISA allowance every financial year is £20,000, which can be spread over all 4 ISAs however you want. So it's worthwhile maximising this every financial year. If you can max it out, well done to you. So that brings us to the end of the video. I hope it's helped you and showed you some pointers that you can implement to help you stay in front of inflation this year. It's not going to be easy, but we can do this. Stay safe out there, and remember, it's not how much money you make, it's how much money you keep. Jazz out.